Shalom, Royal Family, giving honor and praise to the Most High God. I just want to be real brief with this. I want to fill y'all in and expound on the tabernacles that I was talking about in the Day of Atonement, and just to give y'all some tips on how to celebrate it, right? Because one thing we got to do is we are here in captivity, right? And a lot of people will get nervous, thinking because they can't keep the tabernacles or they can't keep these other holy days. The Lord wants you to know that the Lord is very understanding, and compassionate, and loving. He just ain't no punk, right? He know your situation and he know what you're dealing with. So a lot of people that's get nervous because they don't have the funds or whatever to celebrate tabernacles. Well, I'm gonna give you a couple little tips on how to do tabernacles, right? All right. So first thing is we're gonna go pull out your King James version. 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha. All right, you see I got my Apocrypha shirt on. There's no games today. Shout out to my cousin. She helped me put this together. All right, Teek Teek. Love you, baby. So we're going to go to Judges, right? We're gonna go to Judges first. Let's go to Judges chapter 5 and verse 11. Because all of this stuff is holy, right? And we must do this stuff until the Lord returns and free us of our bondage, right? But he don't want you to beat yourself up either, all right? The Lord is not a little kid with a magnifying glass honing in on you. No, we are all in this together, right? We are all dealing with this together, so we all is learning together, right? All right, so let's get it, man. Let's go to Judges chapter 5, verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. You see that? We are in the place, and the Lord is going to deliver us from the archers, right? The archers is those nuclear missiles and here on, more so on and so forth. And the place of drawing water, because we have to pay for our water, right? So it's talking about the children of Israel, right? There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, right? So that's the place that we are in now, right? We're in this place, so we must rehearse the righteous acts. The reason why the Lord called it rehearsing it, because we're not in a place of comfortableness where we are able to do the high holies fully. We're not able to do a lot of the stuff fully because we are in captivity. Right? We don't own, most of our people don't own land and stuff like that and cattle and all that. So we have to rehearse it. But you have to rehearse it the best of your abilities, right? All right, so let's go in. We're going to go. I put this out the other day, and I'm going to pull it out again. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23, and we're going to shorten it. We're going to go to Leviticus 23 and 41. All right, and we're just going to get straight to it, right? Actually, let's go in on the Day of Atonement first. Let's do this decently and in order. We're going to do 23 and 27. Let's go to Leviticus 23 and 27. All right. Also, on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Now we know we don't do the offering made by fire anymore, right? Christ cleared that up for us. Thank you, Yahushua, right? All right, and ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God, right? Now this is a beautiful but a serious day, right? So check this out. Verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. So if you ain't celebrating this day, the Lord is telling you where you're going to end up. Keep on. You're starting to know. You're going to know now, so there's not going to be an excuse why you shouldn't do this. And I'm going to get more into it after I read this. Verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. You see that? Verse 31. Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even, from even unto even. You see how the Lord tell you when the day begins? It begins at even. to the next evening. That's a full 24 hours to the Lord. That's a full day, right? Shall ye celebrate your Sabbath, right? So now, how do you afflict your souls? By fasting. Now, fasting means a fast, a dry fast. That means no food, no water, not brushing your teeth, not trying to gargle, not trying to find any little way out of it to replenish yourself. It's called afflicting your soul. There's no such thing as a water fast or a fruit fast, right? Okay, the world taught us there's other fasts. Yeah, now you can do, that's a cleanse mostly. That's a cleanse, fruit cleanse, water cleanse, whatever you want to do. It's a cleanse like that. But the real biblical fast is a dry fast. No water, no food, no nothing to enter into your body, right? So that's how you afflict your souls, right? And the Lord has one day out of the year, and I love this day, right? The Lord has one day out of the year. Everything you've ever done in your life, it's even sins that you might have forgot about, your secret sins, right? The Lord said he would clear all that off the table this one day. Now you gotta know that that's a loving and understanding Father right there. So for 24 hours, you don't drink no water, you don't eat no food because you're afflicting your spirit. Matter of fact, you're tapping into your spirit. When you fast and deny your flesh, you're disciplining yourself and you're making your spirit stronger. A lot of times when you're doing that, mostly read the Bible because now your body is getting a break from all the nasty intakes that we give it. And your spirit is getting a chance to eat properly. It's eating the words of the Lord. That's why if you do a lot of fasts, a lot of brothers and sisters can tell you that know it. When you fast, you tap in more deeper. All right. It's a lot of benefits from fasting. You can look it up on a lot of YouTube channels, the benefits of fasting. Your body starts rebuilding itself. It starts healing. A lot of beautiful things happen when you fast. They taught us that food pyramid thing was a lie, eating every day and all that. No. Why do you think they call it breakfast? It's break fast. You're breaking your fast every morning you get up. Through the night you're sleeping, you're fasting. You get up in the morning. If you eat something that morning, that's why it's called breakfast. You're breaking your fast, which the best time to eat is high noon, right? But that's another story. There's neither here nor there. So through that, so this year is going to be October the 8th. Salaki. October the 8th at sundown to October the 9th at sundown, right? So that Sunday in October at sundown starts the fast. To the next day, which will be Monday at sundown, the end of the fast. No water, no working. That's a Sabbath to the Lord. All right. You got a head start. That's why I'm bringing this video out now. You got some months ahead of you to get ready. There's not an excuse if somebody warning you ahead of time. All right. So you do that fast. Get you an off day on that day. If you're not celebrating the other holidays, you should have you some good time off with your boss because you probably see by now that you don't celebrate theirs, so they at least could give you yours, right? So that's how you celebrate that one. And while you're doing it too, be sincere in heart. Confess to the Lord. Go talk with your Abba. Read, study, pray, apply, fast. All right? Now, let's move it on. We're going to go in the same chapter. We're going to go down to verse 41. And we're going to read the tabernacles now. Now we got out of the way of how you do that one, which is pretty simple. You just fast. You and your household, who's ever under your household, 24 hours. That's the least the Lord is asking of you. Don't sit here and go crazy. Oh, I'm going to die without some water. Negro, 75% of your body mass is made of water. You're not going to die in 24 hours. All right. Now, if you have other health issues and stuff like that, talk with your doctor and things of that nature. But you should be okay for most people. I don't know people's history, medical history and all that, but the Lord knows. So you can fool us, but you can't fool the Lord. All right. So if you can do it, do it. Do it. The Lord will clean your slate for that. I don't think the Lord will let you die doing a righteous act for him anyways. All right. Now I'm just going to leave that one out there. Deal with it what you will. Now, verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths. Right? You remember reading this the other day. Now, verse 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. You see how he said for generations that you may know that I made the children of Israel dwell in booths? Because he's saying this for the future. This was for us to know that he had our ancestors in booths. Now, a lot of us go crazy thinking, wow, I can't spend the night 2, 3, 4, 7 days. But you have to really sit down and humble yourself. That's why we do this, to humble ourselves, to know how spoiled you really are. They did it for 40 years. It was non-negotiable. It was non-negotiable. 40 years. You can't give your ancestors who fought out there for you 7 days? At least try to do 3, 4. But try. You have to try to do it the best of your abilities. All right? And this is another thing, too. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. The Lord have done wonderful things out there, because you got to remember something. The Lord does not dwell in buildings made with men's hands. So guess what? When you think about the prophets, most of the prophets, when he wanted to talk with them, where did the Lord have him come? To the wilderness, right? He had to meet him in the wilderness, because the Lord is not in your front room. He's not in your basement, in your living room, in your closet. He's out in the wilderness. I've seen some of the best and most beautiful things as far as chariots and everything, every tabernacles. I have not a mosquito bite for any tabernacles. And I lived up north one while where there's mosquito nation, right? All right, so mosquitoes is like gang banging up there, all right? And I didn't deal with not one mosquito bite, because the Lord, if you think the Lord's hand is not that long where he can keep back the animals and the mosquitoes and all that, then you don't believe in the Lord that much as you think you do. Because some people is letting mosquitoes and bugs conquer their fears of the Lord. So you telling me that mosquitoes and bugs has more power than the Lord? You might want to question your faith in the Lord, my friend, if that's what's keeping you from celebrating the Lord's tabernacles, right? You got to ask yourself these things. I'm not asking this. This is the Lord asking you. You got to ask yourself. The Lord says, who will stand up for me? That's the point of standing up, too. Hey, man, look, I'm scared of this and I'm scared of that, but guess what? For the Lord, I'm going out here. You don't think the Lord could stay back all that? He stayed back the ocean for Moses in Israel. You don't think he could stay back some bugs and insects? Come on, man. A lot of us becoming hypocrites when we coming back to this word, because it's a time to test your faith. You got to get your ass up, man up, and go outside. It's some of the funnest time ever, man. You get to deal with nature. The Lord starts showing you things out there, and he gets to tap in, and you spending quality time with the Father. Now, I digress. I was a little long-winded on that one. I'm trying to keep this one real quick. Now, another way of celebrating tabernacles, some people, once again, I said, live in apartments. You know, everybody ain't owning a house where they can go in the backyard. You got some people that do it in their front rooms. Now, the Lord know your condition and your situation. If you ain't got the money to go get your little campsite or something like that, move your furniture back, set up a tent in your front room, and do it in your front room. But do it the best of your ability. Now, if you got some people think campgrounds and all that stuff, out here in, where I'm at in Arizona, we just found out that they have free campgrounds. But you have to look. We never knew that. We looked. There's some free campground. Now, the first time we got out here, I literally didn't even get a house yet. We just went straight to tabernacles. That's how serious we are for the Lord. And I pray the Lord keep that on us. You know what I'm saying? That's not to boast. That's just to let you know how much we fear the Lord. Soon we got in town. We didn't even go stay with no one, get a hotel or nothing. We went straight to tabernacles, set up our tent and everything. And it was beautiful. It was fun. It was amazing. But I digress. But the campground was only like $106 for 7 days. That's not that much. They're not going to tax you $400 and $500. Now, I don't know where you stay at, but there's some campsites that don't cost that much for a week. Matter of fact, you have time, because that's coming up in October 14th to the 21st. October 14th to the 21st. That's 7 days. All right, 7 days. And you have time to get that to that time. Now, if you're living on this earth and you got some type of little 9 to 5, I'm pretty sure you could save you up $100 to get you a campsite, to get you a tent. Tents don't cost that much. They have pop-up tents, $60 to $70. There's no excuses when it comes to things. If I can see homeless people out here, they can at least afford them a damn tent. And you working a 9 to 5, you act like you can't get a tent. Something is mentally wrong with you, my friend, and you're not for the Lord. I'm just gonna go on and say it. You can hate me, but you can't hate the Lord in His scriptures, because this is what it says in the book. I'm just reading the book. But once again, you could do it in your backyard, you could do it in your front room, or if you got the money to do it, get you a campsite. I like to get out there in nature. I like to become one with it, get all out there and get to chopping down some stuff and put some wood in. But you ain't even got to do all that. You can go to they sell wood at gas stations. You can buy you wood already racked up and all of that good stuff, man. But you got to do it. Get you a cooler, some ice, put your meats and foods in there. And even still, you got to remember something. Like I said, the next day you can get up. You can still carry on with your day. You don't have to sit in a tent all day. That's just at night when you go to lay down and go to sleep. The Lord said, dwell in that booth. All right? And that's the part where if you gather together, you know how lit it be when you around brothers and sisters that's all doing it together. So I'm putting this out here to see hit my inbox or put in the comments, man. We're trying to build this thing up, man, because you can't be an individual like. The Lord said, gather yourselves together. If you're not practicing now, how are you going to be ready in the day of reckoning? You think the other nations go on these random camps and go camping just because they just love nature so much? No, they get prepared. And a lot of these people are going to be ready, but Israel want to be Jacob all day long and dwell in a crib. When you lose that house, guess where you're going to have to go? The scripture says we're going to be like pilgrims in that day. All right? So when you're not able to pay rent and all that stuff, you're going to eventually end up out there anyways. I mean, you got to be ready to survive. If you're not preparing now, all that shit you stand behind the screen and talking, it's not going to mean anything if you're not prepared in nature. Get out there with somebody that know how to do it. Hey, we could learn from each other. I could teach you how to use a bow, use other tools of survival and things like that. But you have to get out the damn house to witness it. I could teach people how to fish. I love fishing. I love nature. So you have to prepare people. So I didn't want to make this long-winded. I tried to keep it under 25 minutes, and I'm doing about 17 minutes, 18 minutes now officially. So that's what I want to fill you guys in. It's coming up. Atonement is coming up October the 8th to the 9th, from even to even. And then after that comes right behind it, Tabernacles. It's going to be lit, y'all. I'm telling you, it's going to be lit. It's going to be beautiful. And I hope to see some Israelites out there, man. I don't know who's in the West Coast area. If you're close and you think you can make it, then all praises. I'll set something up and we can get something where we can go in and get a big site and all of that. But, of course, it's not going to surprise me if a bunch of people go quiet on this. All right, Israel faith still needs some working on, and I'm okay with that. The Lord is not, but I got to be. I can't get mad. I mean, some of our people act like they in it till you run into a situation that they can't handle, and then they flee for the hills, and they do like this, and they go quiet. The Lord is bringing this out. There's no more playing. There's no more games. It's either you're with it or you're out. You're in or you're out. You're out or you're in. Whatever it is, you got to make your decision. It's happening. Today, bricks is literally, the dollar's about to be dropping. What are you going to do? You can't pay rent. You're going to end up out there anyway. You might well get your ass out and get ready. Come October. It's going up. It's going up. Either you in or you out. But one or the other, you're going to get it. Shalom.